The acronym RED-S is how we describe relative energy deficiency syndrome. And in this case, RED-S can impact both males and females. What RED-S is essentially somebody is not eating enough to meet their own individual needs. It doesn't mean that the number of calories they're taking in is low necessarily. It's just low considering what their needs are. So someone can still be taking in 2,000 calories a day, but because they're in a high training time, maybe doing multiple workouts a day, higher intensities, longer durations, their needs might be 5,000, 6,000 calories per day. And so you have a deficiency of anywhere from 3,000, 4,000 calories in that individual. That's a pretty big difference. So it's not that the absolute intake is low, it's that the relative intake is low. There are a number of consequences associated with RED-S. To sum them all up together, it is poor sport performance and negative mental status. So when you look at the specific consequences of RED-S syndrome, and this is not just one day of eating a low amount compared to what the needs are, this is a chronic thing where it goes on for a period of time. So overall, there's going to be a decrease in endurance performance that is largely due to just the overall absolute intake of carbohydrates, calories in general, but certainly carbohydrates play a big role in that. There's going to be an increased risk of injury. Individuals, though they are still training, are not going to see the kind of adaptations that they would expect, which is very inefficient if you think about it, aside from being dangerous. So there's a decreased training response there. These next 5 bubbles that you see really target and speak to the lower mental state of this individual. So their judgment's going to be impaired. They're going to have decreased coordination, concentration. They're going to be irritable. You might also start seeing signs of depression. These things impact an overall well-being of that athlete, but it certainly can impact performance as well. If you're talking about a field-based athlete where they have to focus on movement of opponents, movement of teammates, movement of a ball or something like that. So they might be making poor decisions in the moment when they're playing their sport, and certainly decreased coordination goes along with that, and concentration as well. Simply, again, due to the low overall intake of nutrients, glycogen stores are going to be lower than if somebody was eating optimally. So that certainly does not bode well for our endurance athletes. And then any athlete, endurance or more anaerobic or power-based, are going to see decreases in muscle strength. No matter which kind of athlete you're talking about, that really is not a good thing. So again, RED-S has all of these consequences. This could impact males or females. Disordered eating patterns like these are much more difficult to identify in males, however. I don't think it is on people's radar quite as much. I think we tend to gravitate towards paying a little bit more attention to females and what they're eating. I don't think we've been trained or learned quite yet that this could impact males as well. The other thing that is missing from the story of males compared to females is that when females start exhibiting disordered eating patterns, there's a disruption in their menstrual functioning where we don't have that in males. So it's much more difficult to really see and determine how far off they are in their energy consumption compared to their energy needs. So RED-S can impact males or females, but it is much more likely to be overlooked in males.